What's up, Snapback Bets fam? We are back. Week 15 in the NFL. You got your boy Jack here. Actually, coming off an 18K win from the Bengals-Cowboys game. I feel like I should shout that out.
It's not helpful to anyone on the show, though.
Well, it's
let me
helpful.
take things that don't count for 500.
Right.
No. Time out.
You have the worst record on the show.
I'm trying to introduce you guys, and I never really know what to say because I have worst record on the show, but like sometimes I know some things. So this is just proof that like in some worlds I know some stuff.
It's just you not being able to swallow your pride in your intro. Hi, I'm Jack. I'm the worst on the show by a landslide.
Okay. Well, if that's how you would introduce me.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Jack. I'm the worst on the show by a landslide. This is Casey. He's extremely short. We've got T-Bone over in Mass, and we got Uppy in a Washington Nationals jersey. If you guys didn't notice last episode, Uppy was actually wearing a suit, but it blended so well into the background that we thought he was just wearing a T-shirt. So go check that out because that humored us. All right, Timmy, give us our recap from last week. Actually, do we even want the recap from last week?
I mean, before the recap, I think an apology is in order.
Well, I think you would do the recap then.
Okay.
I'll introduce why apologies are owed here. Casey wanted to bet the Seattle Seahawks plus 2.5, and Jack axed him. So use the X, which means Jack laid 2.5 at the Cardinals. That also means Jack had an extra pick that was his own. He went with the Browns plus 6.5. So Casey was a null for the week. I had the Miami Dolphins -6 that pushed. So that's no fun. Couldn't make up anything with Casey there. We might as well have not had a show, Casey and I. Uppy, he had the Bears +4. He loses. So just to recap our individual records here, Jack is 4-10 on the year. Oh boy. Casey's 8-5. Really well done. Uppy, you lost with the Bears, but you were 10-5. You were 10-4 heading into the week.
Yeah, I was. It was that 1 week where I stole Casey's.
No. Are we in week 15?
No, he had a double up win.
He had a double win.
Baller.
That's what did it. Okay. And our consensus was Atlanta plus 5.5. Our consensus is the most profitable bet you can make, and that means fading it. 3-11, the consensus is.
When the melding of the minds happens, you know something's going to go wrong.
Yes.
Now, I do owe you an apology, so I'm sorry for stealing the Seahawks.
I could have used that. That almost puts Tim to bed.
I know. Well, I was protecting T-Bone on your guys' wager, and this was the first time that I really watched the Cardinals, and I've been saying all year, I bet Kyler to win MVP. You said that I'm only taking this because of that, and I said, no, Kyler's been bad. I don't get why his QBR is so high. He's been so bad this year.
Do you understand how hypocritical that statement was where you just said this was the first time I watched the Cardinals and you were yelling at me about saying that I watched the Cardinals?
You don't, though.
Okay, I'm not.
We're together on every Sunday.
No, we're literally not. It's the one day we're actually not together.
Okay. So that I apologize for. But because I got jumped on at the beginning of the show for winning 5 figures and saying I brought no value to the show, unless you follow us on social, you walked away from the show with the Chargers +4. So I was the one who, after the fact, because we thought the contest line was going to be 4.5, it dropped to 4, and you guys had convinced me that the Chargers without McConkey and Dobbins were a bad bet. So I did freak out a little bit and place that. So on the show.
So Jack's wrong pick was our fault.
No. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying I brought value to the show because people probably bet the Chargers. Okay. So let's get into.
That's actually a really good spin. I got to come up with that one more. That's a good one. You were adamant about the Chargers. That was a good conversation.
Thank you.
And we technically were both right because the Chiefs ended up just doing the pull it out of your ass thing. It was just,
That's what I said. Don't bet against the Chiefs at this point because they got black magic. The other one that I felt really good about that I kind of called was the Bears. I just had this feeling they were going to get killed and it was going to be like the total collapse game. But
yeah, I just want to say in hindsight, betting a rookie quarterback and a rookie coach on the road against one of the best coaches in the NFL is pretty fucking dumb. So I will.
Yeah, I mean, Uppy, you love the new coach bounce thing though, which again everyone knows now. So the number was a lot of that was taken out of it. I have just a tiny gripe with Atlanta plus the points. This is like classic bozo behavior, is people saying like bad pick. The game was Atlanta had a lead and the game was tied heading into the fourth quarter. and then they fumble a kick return. And then
that Kirk Cousins interception. But I will say that's every single Atlanta game for the
no,
last,
it is,
like,
and that's
5
true.
years.
But like, I hate like the Bozery. That was like Colts against the Lions.
Yeah, when AR they got all those flags. Yeah,
I just feel like the fact that you didn't see Sam Darnold throwing for 5 touchdowns, like I saw that coming. So the fact that you didn't and didn't handicap it.
By the way, and I gave an underdog Jet as I said him scoring a touchdown.
That
was
was
the biggest lock ever.
Yeah.
That was locked.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. I'd love to start.
Go ahead.
If that's fine
Do
with
it.
everyone on the
Do
show.
it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Rams plus 2.5 going into San Francisco on Thursday night football. What are you already? I can't even get an ounce into my capping. Already laughing.
Go ahead.
You get it over with, so I can just give my cap in
It's
full.
just funny. Like we always talk about home Thursday night favorites cover like 98% of the time, and then you always come out with the one thing that we always discuss, the opposite of it. I'm not saying it's not going to win. I just find it funny that we discuss like the same trends over and over again, and you're like, no.
I'm going to go with the Rams. I think it was obviously a huge win against Buffalo. Vibes are high in that locker room. They now control their own destiny in the division, playing Seahawks in the last week of the season. Stafford and McVay, 10-1, straight up 10-1 against the spread in December. When the games start to matter, that's when those two turn up to a different degree. We saw it. McVay's the offensive coach for the most part, and Stafford, they put up 44 points. I also like the fact that on a short week, again, running backs in the San Fran system, I guess, don't matter too much, but you lose Garendo. That's just another guy who was in the system getting carries. Now you get a completely different running back. Trent Williams didn't practice. Nick Bosa also did not practice. So 2 of their most important guys on each side of the ball looking like they're not going to play as of within the next hour. We're probably going to get the official news on if those 2 are going to play, but I'm going to hope that they are not. The Rams actually are relatively healthy. Dano said on one of his things that when healthy, the Rams have the capability. Dan Orlovsky. The Rams have the capability.
Your pal Dano.
You in a group chat with him?
I feel like that's what everyone calls him. Everyone calls him Dano.
Like
First time
but you called him like Dano, like Dino, like as if it was one
Anyways,
nickname.
Dano said that when this team is healthy, they're one of the best in the league. They struggled a lot throughout the middle part of that season because their offensive line was super, super banged up. They're getting healthy. They're protecting Stafford, giving him time to throw. I love the Rams to not only win tonight, but win this division. And I think cause some problems in a very, very top-heavy NFC playoff picture when you remove the Eagles and the Lions. I also, Uppy, if you're capable of this, on our show when we were in Florida, I said when the Cardinals, this was the Kyler pizza fade.
He's not capable of this.
I said, it's actually very simple. I said the Cardinals are not only not winning the division, but they should have the lowest odds to win when they were atop the division. They are now tied for last with the Niners. I just want you to include that because I got a lot of flack when I said they have no chance of winning this division.
Cardinals team, which I think is very overrated. I'm not buying the Cardinals being a real threat to win that division. I truly think they are the only team in that division, not in the running for that division. As stupid as that may seem with them being top of it and the other 3 at 5-5. But I would say if I was the sports book, I would give Rams, Niners, and Seahawks all a better chance.
That's a good point. You were right on it. You were right on it.
Can I give you a supporting point that you'll appreciate?
Sure.
Ravens faced the Rams last year when the Ravens were really hot. And this was the start of the Rams heating up. A Mike McDonald defense. Mike McDonald defenses are led by linebackers. The Seahawks linebackers notorious for not being some of the top players in the NFL. It's why the Seahawks defense took a while to kind of get into shape. And what the Rams are so successful at are these dig routes with Puka and Kupp. And
is anyone else confused?
What are you
Yeah,
confused
what do the
about?
Seahawks have to do with
They're
this?
playing the Niners.
Oh, they're playing the Niners.
Yo.
Was yeah, I got nothing for you.
Yeah, we're leaving that in. Hey, I got a point that could.
Yeah, I was honestly waiting for you to bring it around to like how the Seahawks. Like I saw Tim's face and I was like, am I going as
Who's
crazy?
in the game
The Niners
versus
the Rams.
Rams Niners?
Where did Mike
That's-
McDonald come from?
He came from Baltimore.
Okay, so that's what I was confused about.
Yeah,
McDonald's
and you were saying when the
coaching tree.
Ravens played the Rams when the Rams
I'm
were
saying
getting
Rams
hot.
succeed against
When
McDonald's
did the
defense.
Rams beat the Ravens?
It didn't. There was the punt return, but we let up 34 in the game.
The Thailand game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
lot
gotta
going
just
on.
Shut the fuck up.
Which-
that was awful.
Ravens Rams last year to
Yeah.
Mike
To
McDonald
Seahawks,
to
who's not
Nakua.
involved in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
All the
insane.
NFC West teams are just a clusterfuck. But
Maybe you just sit this one out.
who owns this matchup in the NFC West like domination?
I believe San Fran owns.
No, I think it is.
Or it's the
I think it's
opposite.
McVay
McVay
over
owns
Shanahan. Shanahan over Carroll.
I'll
Carroll
have
over
that for you. right
Carroll
now.
over McVay, I believe.
Carroll's also not in the division anymore. I know you know that, but
Yeah.
I understood the point. All right. Anyways,
Okay, yeah.
does anyone who knows what game I'm talking about have any input for that pick?
What do you-
I want to just quickly do the Thursday night home favorites thing.
Yeah, please.
So home favorites Thursday night. Oh man, you stink. Okay, here we go. Home favorites on Thursday night. They hit at a 55.6% clip ATS. However, Casey, if we talk about here a non-divisional matchup that is 52-37 and 4 ATS, a divisional matchup 47-42 and 1. So it's
Okay.
a
little better.
a lot worse for non-division. So
Great.
That makes sense. Okay. All right. Let's go Rammies. Rams house. I can't wait for them to take on Geno Smith on Thursday.
Yeah,
Week
it's gonna be
17.
good.
But I guess
That's
I guess.
what I was talking about.
Wait,
Controlling
so
their own
cue
destiny.
that up.
They
Cue
played
that-
Seattle.
I want to lock in my week 17
Week
pick
18.
right now.
Week 18.
I want to
You
lock in
gotta
my
lock
week
in.
18 pick. You just said 17. I want to lock in week 18 Rams, whatever the number is against Mike McDonald's defense.
any
That game's in
concerns,
January.
any concerns, Casey, that you just watched the Rams play really well against one of the best teams in the league, and now you go buy on them? Now it seems like a little.
I understand that thought process, but I was like in on the Rams. I had Rams money line in that game against Buffalo. And this actually isn't a me fading, because I see your point is they played really well. And I feel like people are a little lower on San Fran despite them blowing out Chicago. I'm actually still in on San Fran, but I just think the Rams here are going.
But they did let up 40 plus points. So it's not like they played incredibly
The
well
Bills
on
actually played a
defense.
perfect game on offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like the Rams here. I like the Rams for the rest of the season. I like the Rams when they get to the playoffs.
All right, to get me off the screen, let me just give a very quick pick.
No, for the
limited
record,
analysis.
McVay versus Shanahan. McVay is 6-9 ATS against Shanahan.
Yeah, I felt like it was. Yeah,
But the
All right.
straight up might be the one that's
Got it.
wide
Okay. I am going with the Ravens at whatever number they're going to give us.
14
Should
and
be
a half.
14 and a half. Maybe
you were
it's
you were going
15.
to get 16.5.
Yeah, I think it's just
Really?
gonna climb. Yeah.
Market
This-
16.
Yeah, this one I'm playing because I think it's a get right spot for Baltimore. I believe coming out of the bye, we are second best in the NFL under Harbaugh. Now, that doesn't necessarily say much against the spread here, but I know that based on power ratings, the Giants are power rated as the worst team in the NFL right now. Lost Dexter Lawrence, Neighbors is banged up. They've lost a million guys down to Tommy DeVito. And then the Ravens are actually power rated, shockingly, as the second best team in the NFL. They are 8-5, but they have they've played the league's toughest schedule, which is kind of in part. They have one of the top offenses in the NFL. They have gotten much better on the defensive side of the ball over the last few weeks, limiting opponents to under 170 passing yards per game. So I just feel like, how are the Giants going to put points on the board if you have the top run defense and you've got DeVito, who's not going to throw for 200 yards, and then you've got a Ravens offense who is going to compile points? Now, could it turn into what happened last week in the Meadowlands, where it's like they get up 17-0 and they just sit on the ball and just try and get out of MetLife. Yes, that's always a concern. But when you have a team like the Giants coming in for a backdoor cover, like the Saints were begging the Giants to beat them in that game, and they just weren't even capable. They put up 11 points. So I think the Ravens win this game 31-6, like probably in some blowout fashion.
Just a couple things. Last week in the Meadowlands, no one was ever up 17-0.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, what did I say? I said they were up.
The Saints were up 17-0
No, I'm
and
saying
sit on the ball.
No, I'm saying if the Ravens, the concern would be if the Ravens are up 17-0.
This guy's brain is like legitimately broken. But that's okay. He's been busy this week. I will not to pile on here.
No, please.
Harbaugh off a bye. 11 and 9 ATS.
Yeah,
it's more straight up
I reference
metric.
straight up.
Lamar-
I reference straight up.
Right, but straight up, obviously important when you're laying 16.
Well, ATS he has a winning record, so I don't
love
get it.
the Ravens money line against the Giants.
I do. I will say I like Ravens money line more than I like the Eagles money line last week for that $3 million better. I would just roll it over.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, the crux of the bet here is just Ravens are good. They're off a bye. The Giants suck. DeVito starting at quarterback. I think they picked their number. Let's just hope it's more than 16.
Yeah, everyone knows this game is the Ravens are going to get up and then try and get out healthy and make the second half a 45-minute like total time second half. It's just a matter of if we're up enough points or if we turn the ball over and they get a fake 3 out of it.
Yeah, totally agree. Who's next?
You, T-Bone.
All right. I am going with, and by the way, Casey, the Rams, the market's pretty much at 3. So,
Oh, I would love to get that.
Yeah. Oh, but half points don't matter. Funny.
That's not. Anyways.
No,
by your theory, you would not bet the 2.5. I'm not going to deny the 3.
Well, 2.5 to 3 is a huge jump in a divisional match.
100%. And I'm saying that wouldn't take me off of it like it would take Tim off of it.
And Tim's snide at you is that half points don't matter.
No, but his snide is that I'm saying I would love
you're
it.
You're going to bet it at 2.5 or 3.
I acknowledge that getting the 3 to push is a great thing, but I'm still going to bet it at 2.5 because I'm not a fraud pussy and I believe in my play.
Okay.
Speaking of a number that is painted at 3 across the board, contest might be 2.5. I guess we'll still play it. I like Tampa. I like Tampa Bay at the LA Chargers +3. So to me, we're looking at this Chargers team and their coming out party was that back-to-back span where they played Cincinnati and Baltimore, and they had great showings in both of those games. And then I feel like a lot of people have forgotten or haven't taken a close enough look about what's really going on with this Chargers team. They go to Atlanta. They're lucky to get out of there with a win, but they weren't impressive at all. Kansas City divisional game. We really still don't know how good Kansas City really is. And they have no running back. McConkey missed the last game. Dissey's out, or he could be out.
Speaking of that, actually, yeah, Disley. But holy shit, Tim, we were on the phone with NASCAR yesterday, I see the Daytona flag over you, and before the meeting, Alex Scheinman is like, "How do you say Tim's last name?" And we're like, "Just don't say." Like, first of all, it's exactly how it sounds, like how it looks, and he's just like so in his head about it. And so he mentions your name early in the meeting, and then like a few minutes later, he's like, "Yeah, Tim Kalinowski." And we're on the phone and we are fucking
with the NASCAR people, and we are trying to hold our laughter in as much as we possibly can. It was insane.
So you're now Tim Kalinowski for me.
Oh my! It just literally sounded out Kalinowski.
Yeah, I was like, it's actually just second grade English. Sounds exactly how it's spelled. There's nothing actually confusing about it in the slightest.
Anyways, Will Dissey. Go
anyway, that Will Dissey. And Herbert, a report just came out that it's beyond just the contusion. The ankle thing, I don't know if it's the same ankle, but he's hobbled. And meanwhile, this Tampa Bay team, we all kind of forgot about them when Evans and Godwin got hurt. Evans has been a menace since coming back. Their running game has improved. I just think 3 here is way too much. I have this closer to a pick'em game. Tampa Bay +3.
Yeah, Tim, I think you kind of just glossed over it, but the Herbert ankle, the biggest improvement that everyone was harping on for Herbert and why he looked so good throughout that middle part of the season when the Chargers was coming on was his mobility in the pocket and him picking up first downs with the run game. It's what you didn't have last year when he was banged up. And if he's banged up again on that ankle, I think it's such a key piece to his game. I think as soon as you get Herbert banged up, that's exactly the time. I love the Buccaneers.
I'll defend Herbert a little, though. I agree with you that has helped his game, but he's a tough motherfucker.
He is.
Sure.
He is.
But
and like last
he'll
week,
take hits. He'll stand in, but his mobility and his freedom to go get those extra tough
was
yards.
He not moving well in the second half last week? You wouldn't know. You were at the bar with me waiting 4 hours.
I was
for
watching
turkey sandwich.
I think Herbert is tough as nails. I think he's willing to play through whatever. To me, the ankle is more about it just limits his game. I don't think in a way that he's a wuss, but I think it makes him a little hesitant. We look at the way he played against Pittsburgh when he was banged up. It's just, it seems to be, and that's not the point of the handicap. The point is the cluster injuries for the Chargers here. And again, they went to Atlanta, Kansas City division game. Now they come home. They get a Tampa Bay team that I think is really good. One of the things that the Chargers were able to expose with Atlanta and with Kansas City is that the Chargers have one of the best red zone defenses in the league in terms of how few touchdowns they allow. Kansas City and Atlanta in red zone scoring touchdowns, that is 25th and 26th. Tampa Bay 11th. Tampa Bay finishes drives and makes this difficult for the Chargers.
Yeah, you didn't mention much about Tampa in your handicap, and I was interested to hear about them because I can't really get an idea around them. It seems like their last few matchups, they're either playing a backup quarterback, a really injured team. Like, I just don't know if they're good or not. They started really hot. They obviously had the super impressive win in Detroit. Then they kind of couldn't get stops. Then Vita Vea comes back. Like, they just have seemed to be a weird team I can't figure out this year. Where do you have them kind of power rated?
I have them high. I have Tampa Bay as my...
Like, they're your pick to win the division. You think they could make noise in the playoffs? They have like that amount of talent.
I also think it's a good time to get them because like they did not look convincing. The score was 15, but they did not look convincing against the Raiders at all. So people may be
really. I felt like they killed them. It just they like had some turnovers in the red zone.
Right. I have Tampa Bay.
Makes them not convincing.
No, but that's like your whole Colts flag theory. It's like they played really well.
No, they just
made
didn't
some
play
uncharacteristic mistakes.
I don't think.
But you just admitted they were constantly in the red zone.
No, you said that, not me.
Okay.
I have Tampa Bay as my 11th best team.
Okay. All right, Tampa plus. I feel like 3 is going to be a stretch there, but would be thrilled to have it. Is it 3 in the market?
The 3's market, a little juice to Tampa Bay. You're seeing some -112s, -115s, but there are flat 110s out there right now.
Okay. All right, Uppy, what do you got for us?
All right, I'm going to be going with the Carolina Panthers. -1.5. That's what it is in another contest. It looks like this is out to 3 in the market, which is very interesting and a bit terrifying, admittedly. I think this is going to be a really trendy pick this week. Panthers favorites for the first time since December 18th, 2022. So almost 2 full seasons of never being favored. Now you're getting Bryce Young playing much better ball since returning as the starter. He's 11th in PFF passer grading. 4th in big time throw rate, whatever that means. Not sure, but it's certainly a positive thing.
We like big throws, not small throws.
Absolutely. And this is more so a fade of the Dallas defense, who is absolutely reeling after another tough loss. We saw Micah coming off the field, just dejected. This is a Dallas defense that allows 8 yards per passing attempt, which is 3rd most in the NFL. They're also dead last in EPA per rush allowed. Now you got Chuba Hubbard coming off another solid game. And this is a Carolina team that I think has just bought in on what Canales is selling. They were a play away from beating the Eagles as 2 touchdown dogs. They hung in there with the Chiefs. Granted, this is a Kansas City team that most of us are down on, but still impressive. And now this is Dallas, not a geography guy, as we know, but cross-country travel to Charlotte. Sleepy spot, 1 p.m. in Carolina as a dog shit team.
What the
That
fuck
is-
are you
that is
talking?
tough.
Charlotte and Dallas literally could not be closer.
What? North Carolina to Dallas, Texas.
That
Yeah,
might be an hour and a half.
No, it's like 2 hours max.
So half
It's
the
an
country
hour in
flight
time zone
in a
and less
sleepy
than
spot.
a 3-hour flight.
So traveling on the road to Charlotte, North Carolina as a dog shit team isn't ideal. It's a very sleepy spot at 1 o'clock. Stands won't be full. What does this team have to get up for?
Yeah, I mean,
If I had my ex, I would
absolutely
use it. I would
hate
use-
this pick.
I thought
So
he was
this is
kidding.
Tim.
I thought he was kidding when he said Panthers hammer in this Slack.
No. I this is like the epitome.
No,
of what
no,
Tim
I don't
always says.
goof around
You
in the
couldn't-
Slack.
You couldn't be buying this Panthers team at a worse time right now. Like people think Bryce Young is back. They just saw him almost upset the $3 million bet. Like everyone is as in on
They've
the
covered
Panthers
6 in a row.
as they have ever been. And I think what you're missing on the Dallas thing is like Micah's so pissed off. Like they're still giving everything. That's what that shows.
Cooper
is
Rush is
they-
playing for a job.
They still want to win every single game. Like CD just had his best game in a while. Dowdle's playing improved football. And
he
actually
just
the
had a career
defense
high.
is improving. Like they actually played pretty well against one of the best offenses. Like in another world, Jamar Chase goes down. They only let up 23. Like,
No, in another world, they
they
recover
get the
punt
recovered
kick a
punt and
field
they
goal.
win the
What's
game.
the line
Like,
if they don't screw that up?
Exactly. Like I just think it is the worst time to be buying the Panthers. Like literally
They
ever.
stink. Like they're terrible. The Panthers are terrible. They almost beat the Eagles because the Eagles' ineptness. Nothing Carolina did in that game.
Yeah,
was
I
like
just-
they were getting killed. Like
This is the worst spot for me to take, and I just can't get over your lack of geography. I'm really struggling. Just leave them out of your handicaps, please.
So I actually bet Carolina at -1. I intend to also bet Dallas +3. And one of the things here, Uppy, when you talk about
Is that
buying,
an even unit? Like you're trying to middle it, or are
Yeah.
you going to put more on down? Okay.
what I actually did is I bet Carolina -1, and I teased Dallas from +2.5 to +8.5. So that's the middle there.
I was thinking about it, Caesar. I think it's a really good call out, Tim. Like, even if Carolina wins, are they really winning this game by double digits?
Oh,
That
I mean,
just-
come on.
that- right? Like that. That just seems impossible. I just sent a map in the Slack, Uppy, just while Tim's.
Yeah,
talking,
I
if you
just
wanna-
looked at one. Dallas is really fucking like dead center down there. I thought they were where Arizona
By
was.
the way, even if you went to the west side of Texas, it's still like a 2.5-hour flight. Like
they're so
North
fast.
Carolina is like south and a little bit central. Like you just gotta be better.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
fourth
would stay
one.
away from the geography.
I'm
stuff.
surprised Uppy didn't take the Eagles, given that the Steelers have to fly across the country.
Pennsylvania's a big state.
It is. It's a big.
Hey, I've
state.
made that- I've
No.
made that drive. It's not an easy one on the turnpike. I'll tell you that much.
Thank you. Dallas is Dallas's jet good enough? Do we know? I'm sure they have a very good jet. the
They gotta have a
Cowboys.
great jet.
All right,
Uh,
on to the consent.
Wait,
No,
hold
no,
on.
What are your
Uppy-
thoughts on?
I mean, Tim
I'm
has
not
something
done
to
here.
say.
Look ahead for this game was Dallas -1.5. Again, the buying on the Carolina thing. I am a little worried, because the fact that you guys feel, or Casey, you feel differently about Dallas's motivation, and that like Parsons is like, oh, we were just that close, makes me throw motivation out of this, because I felt like Uppy and that Dallas is just like, what the hell are we doing here? And Carolina is a team that's losing and still is like, wow, we actually have something going here. So
Honestly, what I'm finding this year, is there any team that has actually given up except for the Giants?
The Jets.
Like kind of the Jets? I feel like everyone is still
This is what people always get wrong, and why I'm excited when we get to week 18 and Tim's gonna hit our favorite spots, which is dogs who have nothing to play for versus the teams that have to win.
Yeah.
Because it's the NFL. You're literally playing for your job every single
and it's
week.
also
Oh,
like,
the Giants. The
give up.
Giants probably.
Yeah.
The Giants.
No,
That's what I said. The Giants.
they
But like,
give
they're
up.
also like, it's so hard to go out there and not try and win. Like
Right.
when the whistle blows,
Time
like
out. You
they're
guys are
gonna
saying-
just naturally try.
You guys are saying the Giants just because you're confusing ineptness for not trying.
No, I
they
think
tried to beat New Orleans on Sunday, and they almost did it.
Once
They're just
they
inept.
realized they had a chance, I felt
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
No, Casey, you're right. What I will say though about this is, Dallas was laying 4.5 to the Giants on Thanksgiving. Like we know this is kind of all the bottom of the barrel area. Now they go to Carolina, they're a dog. Like aren't these teams all kind of in the
I think
same?
everyone's bought in on Carolina and
I know,
out on Dallas, and I think
Everyone's
it's the
bought
wrong.
in because they've covered 6 in a row.
Right.
They've covered,
No,
but they
they
were
are
11-point underdogs.
No, they are
Like,
playing much. No, but they're not just covering. They're losing by 3 points. They lost in overtime to Tampa. They lost by 3 to the Chiefs. Like they're playing very close games. It's not just covering. They're covering all spreads.
Yeah, their cover margin is probably pretty good. It's just like it's funny, right? Because I bet Carolina week 1 in an awful one, or I bet Tennessee week 1. I bet Carolina week 2 or 3 in an ugly one. It's like I was willing to bet Carolina then, and now it's like now everyone waits till Carolina's a favorite till they can stomach them. It's like I'm a little
Feels wrong.
I actually feel like Uppy's going to get off this pick, but I don't want him to. I want him to stick to his I'm the best better on this show, and you guys should just suck it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
All right, good.
Let's go.
All right, on to the
Panthers.
consensus.
And I will say, Casey's yapping about buying in at the worst time. This has got to be the worst time to buy in on the Rams as well.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. They just let up 42 points.
No, but this is bad.
No, it's a great win, but like, I
They
guess
just won
it's
the best
probably
game
the
of the
worst.
year on national
It's probably the
television.
worst time to go in on them, but I would say I'm not going in on them because of what I saw in Buffalo, for whatever that means.
Okay. Panthers -3 right now. Oh, give me Dallas and all of that.
Anyone want to take the Jags with the points?
I am like so down. That's just how gross was Jacksonville last week for me. That was the early bet.
The Jags with the points, like, what am I missing here? How are the Jets still?
This is just
favorites?
what they do. This is what they like. The Jets
But
are.
then again, the Jets did almost beat Miami. Probably should have.
I think I'm taking it money line. Does anyone have interest in the Dolphins in Houston?
At 3, I liked Miami.
That's okay.
Isn't it like 1? Oh, it's 3. It's 3.
2.5 and waiting for 3s. I agree. I think 3 would be a play for certain, but like Casey's saying, he thinks they just win outright, and I'm kind of on board with that.
I wouldn't suggest betting it, but I do like the Chiefs. I think we've gone too far at this point. Like, I think the Browns are just terrible.
Kind of like Atlanta in Vegas. Like should I be off Kirk? I'm still not off Kirk. Is that wrong?
You're not watching if you're still on him.
I mean, I don't hate it.
I think they're what are they? 1 game out of the division? Like all they have to do is go to Vegas and hope that the Bucks lose, and we have.
I think that's what keeps people in.
It is.
right. If they weren't, let's say they weren't in that division, right? You'd be like, all right, they're 6-6. They've lost 4
6
in a
and
row.
7.
6 and 7. They lost 4 in a row. Like, I should really jump off this, as opposed to we're 1 game out
I
of the
don't
division.
know. After
You know what I
watching
mean?
Kirk on the QB show, like I think God's gonna get him right. Like he's gonna reset.
You know he's not healthy.
Kirk?
Yeah.
I don't think he looked that bad in
We
that
were
game.
told that he wasn't healthy.
That was at the start of the season.
Okay.
I mean, Desmond Ridder. Think about betting the other side of that game.
Oh, I forgot. Well, AOC might play.
Oh, I
AOC
didn't
can
know
get
that.
it.
AOC can get it. But yeah, it was like they put him in the cast, and then they were like, he's actually fine, which was a little bizarre. Yeah, they air casted him, and then he's okay.
All right, those are my two, Falcons and Dolphins, if anyone has interest in those.
Uppy, what got you off of Philly?
Just matchups. It's terrifying being that the Steelers are so good against the run. The Eagles have been really one-dimensional running the ball a ton, though they do it successful. So that is initially what I liked. Just Steelers pass rush, and then you got Eagles are third in pass rush offensive line. It's just the one-dimensional nature of this Eagles football team right now. And then I got Eagles fans texting me about like all the drama and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's actually a good spot to buy the Eagles. Like people are down on them after Carolina. They think there's some drama going on there.
But you're not getting any
of the
value.
branding.
You're not getting any value.
And like the Pickens stuff didn't affect the Steelers against the Browns, but like they may need Pickens. If they can't run it on the Eagles, they may need Pickens to relieve a long ball to get them down the field one time. And
yeah, that's why I'm not going underdog Tom when I was initially looking at the Eagles. That secondary against Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin, and then Eagles are top 10 in rushing defense on the ground.
What am I missing?
I think I'm seeing the board. I might bet the whole board again this week.
What am I missing in Cincy, Tennessee?
Cincy sucks, but is good at the same time.
Tennessee's can Tennessee's defense get the Tennessee's defense is really good. It's really
without Snead, they let up 42 the week before to the Commanders. They let up 27 to Houston. They let up 23 to Minnesota. They let up 27 to the Chargers. I mean, they let up 52
that has
to
to
Lions.
Speak to them being on the field a ton as well, though, because the offense.
Okay, well, they're going to be on the field a ton because they're
because Tennessee is going to be able to move the ball,
but they're incapable. Like they just put up 6 on Jacksonville.
That was a dogfight division game.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was a rock fight. I mean, come on, call
that was a rock. I feel like I guess my
Cincy's
take
a trap.
My take with no Snead is that they are no longer a good defense, and he's been out for a little, but I just don't think they're as good of a defense as.
I think it's ATL Draco ATL.
I mean, look,
you just can't. It's against the bylaws of gambling to lay over a field goal with Kirk Cousins on the road in prime time. Like you just can't do that.
I mean, look, I don't. I'm fine buying low on Atlanta. I think the Raiders are dreadful. Atlanta's still totally in it.
So in it.
So totally in it.
Everyone's in it. We just discussed motivation is not a factor.
No, I know,
but there's
really
between giving up and being really, really.
So is
in
Cincy. Cincy wants to win. They have an outside shot. Like, all right, the pick is Colts +4. Who doesn't like the Colts +4 against Denver?
Oh, I think this is going to be public dog of the millennium.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think you're on the right Twitter. I'm on like incel Twitter, like Luigi and the handicapper touts. And
Tim, how do you feel that I played the murderer in soccer?
Did you played against him?
Yeah.
No,
was he good?
Making that
no,
up.
I'm not making that up at all. Why would I be making that up?
Because he went to our rival high school, but
right.
You don't know that you played against him.
Okay. Never
What
mind.
position
I just said that and I didn't. No.
What position?
What do you mean I don't know what position he played.
So this is my point. You don't actually recall playing against him.
I know that I played against him. I don't remember being like, oh, that's Luigi Mangione across the field for me. I know
we got to double team him.
Yeah, I know that he played Gilman soccer for 2 years that I played McDonough soccer,
right.
And we played against each other.
Did he come off the bench?
I don't know.
So you're just saying he was on the team and
so I played against him. So if you were to be like, oh, I played against the backup quarterback, that would still make sense because he's on the team you played against.
Maybe he was sick that day. Like my point is,
no, you're doing the most.
I'm not. I'm just saying you're trying to stretch it to make it seem cool for T-Bone, and it's interesting.
I'm not stretching it. I played him in soccer.
You probably have you should just check the box scores, check the rosters.
I'm not sure I know how to do that, but I can do that.
I could figure it out. I could
Anyways,
for sure.
Luigi likes the Colts, but I understand if you do not.
It's come down to, I just feel like I cannot, the Colts, man. Sean Payton off of a bye. One of the most important buys in the NFL are new head coaches or first year quarterbacks. And people just want every reason to believe that Denver's not for real. They can be not for real, but still be 4 points better than Indianapolis. And I just still don't trust the Indianapolis defense. I think Peyton with a full 2 weeks to prepare of that soft zone, that Knicks could absolutely carve it.
Then what about the Broncos? We've been trying to go sharp on the consensus. It hasn't worked once. Why don't we just go super square favorite?
No,
Well, Tim's saying that the Colts +4 is square. So then
That's
it
square
would be
dog. You know everyone's going to be on square favorite. Denver.
I don't think Denver's just square.
All right. So leader in the clubhouse is Atlanta.
Why'd we get off Miami? I think that's the play.
Where's Miami?
In Houston.
Did you like that, Uppy?
I did. Are you paying attention?
Okay.
You're not locked in, dude.
If the line's
Miami flying to Houston that's like 18-hour flight.
if the line's 2.5, Green Bay.
No. Green Bay is not as good as you think they are, Tim.
But the Mike McDonald linebackers, dude.
Oh yeah, true. Green Bay
Bay's
profiles
not that good.
as good of a road team as you could want. Extended rest. Seattle just went Jets, Arizona, home now. Green Bay, 10 days rest, laying 2.5.
By the way,
I think it's a bit of a gift.
Tim, my bet of the playoffs will be Green Bay going into whoever is the 3 seed in the NFC. Is going to be the home
You
NFC
just
team.
said Green Bay's not that good.
That's I said it wrong. My bet will be the
Fading
team
Green
that
Bay?
Green Bay is going
Oh.
into play.
Why?
What?
Why?
Green Bay is the public's favorite team.
No,
in
They're
the
they are
world.
literally not. They're literally
They're
Everybody
not.
loves
It's
them.
just one of your friends who's loud.
No, everybody loves Green Bay.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They were trendy on Thursday and for good reason. But like,
No, I'm telling you, either if it's Seattle or Tampa, they're going to be dogs at home in the playoffs and going to win outright against Green Bay.
Well,
Jordan
I'm
Love.
not betting them in the playoffs. I'm betting them this week.
No, I know. I was just letting you know. Can we take Miami? Tua's back.
All right, Miami it is.
I
Tim's
No,
back.
like
no,
Miami.
no.
I like
Yeah,
Miami.
all right, Miami it
I
is.
like Miami. In a dome.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, Houston off the bye. Houston off the bye.
Tua's playing amazing. He really is.
MVP and Seapoy in the same year.
Did that game get flexed out of primetime? I thought Tua only plays primetime in December.
No, I think it was the standalone against the.
No, it's 1 p.m. What's
Do
up?
we have an update on how's our guy Chop Robinson? Is he good?
There's just no way that we're making a bet based on Chop Robinson.
Yeah, Chop Rob is not like a Max
Like,
Crosby.
you
Like,
tell
he's-
me I
he's
can't
a good.
bet
He's
that
a good
Puka
pass
isn't
rusher.
even a half point.
You tell
and
me I
Chop
can't
Robinson,
name players, and you're naming an average first round pass rusher. Like, let's get a grip.
You're gonna need pressure on Stroud. He hasn't been good under pressure this year.
He just hasn't been good. Period.
I know.
Unfortunately, and that's my dog.
All right, hand up.
What if it's 2.5?
Look. My lease to move to Miami got approved today. I think it's a sign. Everyone likes Miami. I think we go with the Fins.
Miami,
All right,
the Jack retiring play
consensus
of the week.
moves on to 3-12 on the season. Correct, gang.
Congratulations, Houston.
All right, we've got our underdog picks for the week. Turn $10 into $100, and also you can get a special using code Snapback. My first pick is Lamar Jackson lower pass attempts, and the Ravens are going to win this game by 40 points. Lamar's going to hand it off 400 times. Don't overthink it. Lower.
Fuck. Someone else has got to go.
That was yours?
Mine was lower rush yards. The
Really?
public wants to be Lamar's mama told him to run. He doesn't need it against the Giants. But the next week against the Steelers is the Lamar rush yards game. I'll just go correlated to my play. Give me Kyron Williams, anytime touchdown scorer for the Rams.
Nice point.
Way to turn this around quick, huh?
Is that a 0.6?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I will go Bryce Young, higher rushing yards against Dallas. The game is close. He's been using his legs a lot more. He goes higher than 13.5.
I don't know if you calculated the fact he's going to be kneeing a lot, given that they're going to be up.
Kyron's a 0.82. That's not bad.
All right, I'm going to be going Chuba Hubbard, higher rushing yards against a Dallas defense that is dead last in EPA per rush.
Why are you cutting him off?
Because he just like fucking read EPA for the first fucking time, man.
No, because we just took Bryce Young
So
rushing
what?
yards.
Those are the least correlated things ever.
I
It's
guess.
13 yards. It's not Lamar. It's not Hurts Saquon. It's not Lamar Henry. It's
That was
Bryce
mean,
Young.
Uppy. I didn't mean to throw strays. Like
Yeah, that was mean as
Hey,
well on
Uppy,
my part.
fuck
Uppy.
them. Fuck
Yeah,
them.
I agree. Fuck him. I mean,
Fuck
I'm
him.
the fucking most successful NFL bettor here against a
On
bunch
props?
of fucking square young idiots. I'm getting fucking thrown under the bus for saying EPA. What am I supposed to do? Carolina's vibes are super fucking high. They're going to win, so they're going to run a ton.
The Dallas rush defense has to fly across the country.
Micah
Facts.
Parsons is busy on a podcast. He's not going to get up for this game. Vibes are low. Locker room's
I think you
torn
have to
up.
say it again because we interrupted you, though.
No, I think it's straight.
That'll work.
But a good one is anyone see that I had Cooper Rush over 1.5 rushing attempts on Monday night? He got his second rushing attempt in the second to last play of the game when they were trailing coming down the field. Hell of a sweat. Very fun.
That is a good sweat. We also at the game had CD Lamb higher than a half rush.
I
yard.
love
That's a
when
fun
they-
one.
I know.
And he got the attempts, and he literally only got the 1 yard. And
Also,
some places it was 1.5 yards.
I had a foul sweat. CD first, Chase Brown anytime. But Jalen Tolbert last did not come through, unfortunately.
No love for a Geno Stone interception. I mean, come on, that's a great call.
Yeah,
No,
that
that
was
was wild.
wild, especially because it hit the ground. It
Did
wasn't
it?
even a pick. Oh, yeah.
So
for
that
sure.
was the craziest part. I knew he caught it, like that it was Geno, even though we were at the game, and then we were all celebrating. We didn't even realize they were reviewing it. I saw it was close when it happened, but once the flag got wiped, I was like, okay, interception, it's good. It hit the ground.
I was shocked it wasn't overturned. And on the broadcast, they were like, Cameron Taylor Britt with the deflection. And then they waited forever. And I was like, oh, Geno Smith with the pick. Just crazy sweat. I can't believe you did that. Let me hold a rack. I'll turn it into 10.
$10.
10 racks.
Like-
But probably $10, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a tennis winner. All right.
And Jack,
Well-
you like Bengal or Ravens money line, right?
Love. I'm putting 4.1 million this time around on Ravens money line.
We should why can't we just put the snapback endowment just on that? Just have
Because
a little
last
fun.
time
Because
we
the
went,
endowment is sending you around the country to the college.
and the
football
last
playoff.
time the Ravens went to MetLife against an average Giants team as a lock, we lost out.
these are much different terms.
Was that
Much.
DeVito?
No,
No,
that was Danny
it was
Dimes.
Dimes. It was the Vikings backup quarterback. All
Yeah,
right,
with
everyone,
those
thank
guys.
you for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment down below what you think our record is going to be. We will see you next week. Snapback fam, much love.